welcome back to episode number 3 in the Brand Interrupted show. I'm your host, Brittany Hammond, filmmaker and your personal brand strategist. In this episode, I want to tell you about 3 different types of stories that you can use in your branding and your marketing. The first type of story is called your signature brand story, which is also the how I got here story. Now, I detail this more in another video, the 3-part breakdown of it, but I just want to give you a glimpse here of how you can use it. So this is a type of story where, think of frustration is the genesis of creation. Things that frustrate us or challenge us in life often drive us to create a solution. So think of Sarah Blakely, the founder and creator of Spanx. I'm sure you've all heard the story of how back in the day she cut the toes off of her pantyhose, and that was really the beginning of her Spanx empire. And she actually has on her website, on the main banner, it says, her tagline says, "It all started with a pair of pantyhose, some scissors, and a bright idea." So this story really highlights your why, your purpose, what drives you to do what you do. How did you get here? What problems or issues or frustrations did you have in the marketplace or your industry that led you to creating, whether it be a product-based solution or a service, a one-on-one program, a group program? Where are those inadequacies in the industry that you want to really fill the gap and be the solution? And I want to give you a quick example of something that I did a few years ago. After acting for a number of years, I felt really frustrated in my training because we never really addressed the psychological and emotional aspect of acting. And so I felt like I could never master my emotions, and this became a problem for me. So as I was going through my master program, I ended up really studying personality and emotions. And so I started a actors training program with my partner, and we really focused on fully owning yourself, mastering your emotions so that actors can fully show up on stage or on screen. So here's an example of something that frustrated me in my own training. I worked relentlessly to create this program and then offer that solution to other people that experience the same frustrations as myself. The second type of story is the I've been there, done that type of story. This is one of those stories that really builds credibility from your own experience. We teach the lessons that we ourselves need to learn. And this is a great story for any online service-based entrepreneur, coach, trainer, consultant, teacher, where you're really showing the practical sides of things and how you overcame something and not just the theoretical side. Marie Forleo is a great example of someone who really showed her journey and what she went through, and really how she can help you do the same thing regardless of your situation or circumstances. So one thing that she really talks about in her journey is how she's multi-passionate, and she did have several mini careers that kind of led her to where she is today. And one of the most compelling parts of her story is that she talks about how she worked in a bar while she was building her coaching practice. And this is something that I find people really override this today and really urge people to quit your day job. And I think that that's really doing a disservice to your audience when you're trying to jump those gaps, because Marie Forleo really connects the dots in her story and everything that led her to ultimately creating B School and her online empire. So this is sort of also can fall under the rags to riches type story or the triumph over adversity type story. Now, these things don't have to be catastrophic, life-threatening adversities that you've overcome, but I want to give you a few examples of how you can share stories about things that you've experienced. So for example, did you finally learn how to set your boundaries and remove toxic people from your life? Share that story. Did you find a way to monetize your Airbnb apartment or home and have an extra passive income to maybe go on vacation or fund a passion project? Share that story. Were you able to rekindle a relationship or a marriage after experiencing an affair? Share that story. Were you able to overcome anxiety without medication through the simple spiritual practices of meditation? share that story. These are all types of social stories that you can share online, in social media, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Pinterest, your emails, on your website copy, in your live streams, in your videos. They're all stories that people can really relate to, and there's always going to be a teachable lesson in those stories, and that's how people are going to relate to you. The third type of story is the suspense or intrigue type of story. So these could be, you know, especially in the day and age of social media where everything is in real time, I think it's so important to really step back from the polished image of your brand and really sharing those behind the scenes. So this could be behind the scenes, this could be outtakes from videos. I know I got a few in this video series.
This is for my editing.
Oh my god, I can't finish this fucking sentence. Why can't I get this sentence out? What did I say there? I can't remember where I was going with this now. This could be sneak peeks from photo shoots, this could be book trailers, anything that's really showing the real human aspect of being a brand and running a business. I think that's what really makes people interesting today, because no one, you know, perfection is sort of a thing of the past. We don't want to see perfect, polished people. So a great example of someone who did this was Taylor Swift, and this summer when there was the solar lunar eclipse in the end of August, she completely blacked out and deleted all of her social media, and it coincided with the full moon eclipse. And so people were like, oh my god, what's happening? Where did she go? And everyone was on the edge of their seat wanting to know what was going to happen next. And then, instead of releasing everything all at once, slowly, day by day, week by week, she was releasing kind of these cryptic messages and images, and it really was getting people talking about like, what is her music going to be? What is her brand going to become? She finally did release her first single, Look What You Made Me Do. Obviously, not only did everyone go crazy, but then she didn't follow up with interviews. So then it made people go even more crazy because she was only sharing behind the scenes and not being interviewed about her new album. And so it really, really built this suspense over a long period of time when then she finally released her album in November. So, how does this relate to you? Think of some projects you're working on right now, some upcoming projects. What are some ways that you can really utilize suspense to get people interested in talking about it? If you've enjoyed watching this, I want to invite you to check out my free 4-part Brand Your Story video training. In this training, we're going to cover how to uncover your story within that will naturally attract your dream clients, and different ways that you can express your story both visually and verbally. So click the link below to get access right away. I can't wait to hear your story.